What if I told you that a small, simple coin from 1996, something that many people ignored, could actually carry history, culture, and collector value? Today, we are diving deep into the Philippines. Banco 10 Sentimo, coin from 1996, a tiny piece of metal with a powerful story behind it. This coin may look ordinary, but behind its design lies national pride, Filipino heritage, and the legacy of a revolutionary hero. So stay with me till the end, because you might discover something surprising about this small but meaningful coin. To understand this coin, we must first understand the institution behind it, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, often called BSP, is the central bank of the Philippines. It was established in 1993, replacing the old Central Bank of the Philippines. Its mission is to maintain price stability and ensure a stable financial system. In 1995, BSP introduced a new coin series known as the BSP coin series. The 10 Sentimo coin we are discussing today belongs to that series. By 1996, this coin was already circulating throughout the Philippines, used in everyday transactions, jeepney rides, sari-sari stores, and local markets. Back then, 10 Sentimo may not have been a large amount, but it was still part of daily life for millions of Filipinos. Let's now take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1996 Philippines 10 Sentimo coin is made of brass-plated steel. It has a golden appearance and a smooth round shape. On the obverse side, you'll see the portrait of Apolinario Mabini. Apolinario Mabini was a Filipino revolutionary leader and political philosopher. He is often called the brains of the revolution. Despite being paralyzed, he played a crucial role in advising revolutionary leaders during the fight for independence. His presence on the 10 Sentimo coin symbolizes wisdom, courage, and patriotism. Below his portrait, you'll find the word 10 Sentimo, which means 10 centavos in Filipino, and the year 1996. Now turn the coin to the reverse side. You will see the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas along with the words Republica ng Pilipinas. The design is simple, clean, and official, representing the authority of the Philippine government. Here are the technical specifications of the 1996 10 Sentimo coin. Country, Philippines. Year, 1996. Denomination, 10 Sentimo. Metal, brass-plated steel. Diameter, approximately 15 millimeters. Weight, around 1.8 grams. Shape, round. Edge, smooth. Because it was made of steel with brass plating, over time many coins show signs of wear, discoloration, or rust if not properly stored. During the late 1990s, the 10 Sentimo coin was part of everyday life in the Philippines. Children received it as change after buying candy. Commuters used it when paying jeepney fares. Vendors counted stacks of these small coins during busy market days. However, as inflation increased, the purchasing power of the 10 Sentimo decreased significantly. Eventually, small denominations like 10 Sentimo became less practical in daily transactions. Many people began ignoring them or storing them in jars at home. In fact, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas eventually stopped producing lower denominations, like the 10 Sentimo, because they were no longer widely used. Now comes the question many viewers are waiting for. Is the 1996 Philippines 10 Sentimo coin valuable today? The honest answer is, it depends. In general circulated condition, this coin is very common. Millions were minted, so its standard value is usually very low, often just a few pesos in collector markets. However, value increases under certain conditions, or if the coin is in uncirculated condition, or if it has mint luster, or if it has no scratches or rust, or if it is part of a complete 1996 coin set. Sometimes collectors are willing to pay higher prices for high-grade coins. Rare mint errors can also increase value. For example, a off-center strike, a double strike, a clipped planchette, and misprint year. Error coins are much rarer and can attract serious collectors. But remember, exaggerated online listings claiming extremely high prices are often misleading. Always verify with trusted coin collectors or numismatic experts. Even if this coin is not worth a fortune, it carries something more important: history. It represents a time when small denominations still had real value in Filipino society. It honors Apolinario Mabini, one of the greatest minds in Philippine history. And it reminds us how currency evolves as economies grow. Coins are not just money. They are historical documents made of metal. Each scratch tells a story. Each worn surface represents hands that once used it in daily life. If you have a 1996 10 Sentimo coin, here are some preservation tips. Do not clean it with chemicals. Store it in a dry place. Use coin holders or plastic capsules. Avoid touching the surface too much. Cleaning old coins can reduce their collector value. So, the next time you see a small coin like the Philippines, Banco 10 Sentimo from 1996, don't ignore it. It may not be gold. It may not be rare, but it carries the pride, heritage, and story of a nation. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Philippine coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more historical coin stories. And don't forget, sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. See you today, not because it looks special at first glance, but because most people never paid attention to it in the first place. The 1993 Philippines 10 Sentimo coin is one of those coins that quietly passed through millions of hands. People used it for the smallest daily purchases, dropped it, ignored it, and sometimes didn't even bother picking it up. It was just another low-value coin, something that didn't seem important at all. But that's exactly what makes it interesting today. Because in the world of coin collecting, the coins that were ignored, the most often become the ones people start searching for years later. Now imagine this. Somewhere in your home, maybe inside an old drawer, a forgotten wallet, or a small coin jar, there could be one of these coins sitting unnoticed. And the surprising part is, while most of them are still common, some versions of this coin can actually carry more value than you would expect. The design of the coin itself is simple, but meaningful. On one side, it features Apolinario Mabini, a respected figure in Philippine history, often called the brain of the revolution. His presence on the coin gives it a strong historical identity. Around his portrait, you'll find the inscription Republica ng Pilipinas along with the year 1993. At first glance, everything looks normal, clean, and standard. But sometimes, it's these exact details where small differences appear. When you flip the coin, you'll see the seal of the Banco Central in Pilipinas along with the denomination 10 Sentimo. The design is official and minimal. Nothing flashy, nothing unusual. And yet, for collectors, even the smallest variation in this design can make a huge difference. This coin was made from copper nickel, giving it a slightly silver appearance, with a lightweight and a small size of around 15 millimeters. Because of its size, it was easy to lose, easy to forget, and over time, many of these coins simply disappeared from circulation. Some were thrown away, some were damaged beyond use, and others just vanished over the years. And this is where things begin to change. As fewer coins remain in good condition, collectors begin to pay attention. Not because every single coin is valuable, but because some of them are different. And those differences are what create value. Now let's be real for a moment. Most 1993 10 Sentimo coins are still very low in value. If you find a regular one in used condition, it might only be worth a few cents, maybe a little more depending on where you sell it. Even coins in better condition might only reach a few dollars. But the real excitement starts when we talk about rare variations and errors. Sometimes during the minting process, small mistakes happen. These mistakes are not intentional, but they create unique coins that collectors love. For example, if the design is slightly off-center, where the image is not perfectly aligned, that alone can increase the value. If you notice doubling in the letters or numbers, where the text appears slightly duplicated, that's another sign of a possible error coin. In some cases, parts of the design may appear weak, faded, or incomplete. These small imperfections, which might look like damage to an untrained eye, can actually make the coin more interesting to collectors. And in very rare situations, a coin might even be struck on the wrong type of metal, making it completely different from standard versions. Coins like these are not easy to find, but they do exist. And when they are discovered, They can be worth significantly more than regular coins. Not thousands or millions as some exaggerated claims suggest, but still enough to make them valuable in a collector's market. This is why it's important to actually check your coins carefully. Most people look at coins casually and assume they're all the same. But if you take a closer look under good lighting, you might start to notice small details that others miss. The year, the alignment, the sharpness of the design, the edges, everything matters. One very important thing to remember is never to clean your coins. It might seem like a good idea to make them look shiny and new, but cleaning can actually reduce their value. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they look cold or slightly worn. That natural surface is part of the coin's authenticity. Another reason why coins like the 1993 10 Sentimo are becoming more interesting is because of how everyday currency is changing. As digital payments become more common, physical coins are used less and less. This means fewer coins stay in circulation. And over time, older coins slowly fade away. What was once common can quietly become uncommon. And that's how collectibles are created. Not instantly, not overnight, but slowly, over time. So the next time you come across an old coin, don't ignore it. Take a moment, look at it closely, and think about where it came from and how many hands it has passed through. Because sometimes, the value of a coin isn't just in its price, but in its story, its rarity, and the small details that make it different from the rest. Maybe the 1993 10 Sentimo coin in your collection is just a normal one. Or maybe, just maybe, it's something more. So before you spend it, lose it, or forget about it, check it. Because hidden value doesn't always come in big, obvious forms. Sometimes, it comes in the smallest coins, quietly waiting to be noticed. And who knows? The next coin wait. And many people might not even bother picking it up from the ground. But what if I told you that this tiny coin carries a story about a nation, its heroes, and its economic journey? Today we are exploring the fascinating story of the Philippine 10 Sentimo coin. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary coin from everyday circulation in the Philippines. But when collectors take a closer look, they discover something much more interesting. Because sometimes, the smallest coins hold the biggest stories. And in rare cases, they can even become valuable collector items. So today, we are going to uncover the history behind this coin, the hero featured on it, the design and hidden details, why collectors are starting to notice it, and whether this simple coin could ever become valuable. Let's begin the journey. The birth of the coin. The 2015 10 Sentimo coin was issued by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the official central bank responsible for producing the country's currency. This coin is part of the New Generation Currency Coin series, a series introduced to modernize the Philippine monetary system. For decades, the Philippines had different coin designs and series circulating at the same time. This created confusion. Some coins looked outdated, while others were hard to recognize. So the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas decided to redesign the coins. The goal was simple: create coins that were modern, secure, and easy to recognize. The result was the New Generation Coin series, which included several denominations. One of the smallest but most important coins in that series was the 10 Sentimo coin. Although its value is small, it still plays a role in everyday transactions. And for collectors, its design and history make it interesting. The hero on the coin. On the front side of the coin, you will find the portrait of a famous Filipino hero. His name is Apolinario Mabini. Mabini is one of the most respected intellectual leaders in Philippine history. He was known as the brains of the revolution. Despite being paralyzed from the waist down due to illness, Mabini became one of the strongest voices for Philippine independence. He served as the first prime minister of the revolutionary government. He also advised the revolutionary leader Emilio Aguinaldo. Mabini believed deeply in freedom, justice, and national unity. His writings inspired many Filipinos during the struggle against colonial rule. Because of his contributions, his image was chosen to represent wisdom, intellect, and patriotism on the 10 Sentimo coin. So every time someone holds this small coin, they are actually holding a tribute to one of the country's greatest thinkers. The coin design. Now let's look at the design details. The obverse side of the coin features the portrait of Apolinario Mabini. The inscription Republica in Philippines. The year of minting. The reverse side of the coin displays the official seal of the Banco Central in Philippines. This seal represents the authority of the central bank and the stability of the nation's financial system. The coin is made from plated steel, which makes it durable and resistant to corrosion. Its small size makes it lightweight and easy to carry, but its design still carries symbolic meaning. Even the smallest denomination reflects the nation's identity. Why small coins matter? Some people might think coins like the 10 Sentimo are not important anymore. After all, inflation has reduced the purchasing power of small denominations. In many places, people even ignore small coins. But coins like this still play an important role. They allow exact pricing. They help maintain the structure of the currency system. And most importantly, they preserve national heritage. Coins are like tiny pieces of history. Each one tells a story about the time it was created. That is why collectors all over the world search for coins that others overlook. Because sometimes, those forgotten coins become rare treasures. Collectors and hidden value. Coin collecting is one of the oldest hobbies in the world. Collectors often look for specific things: rare minting years, low production numbers, error coins, perfect condition coins. The 2015 10 Sentimo coin was produced in large numbers, so most coins from this year are not extremely valuable. However, collectors are always searching for special varieties or mint errors. For example, coins with off-center designs, double strikes, metal errors, or unusual mint marks. When these rare mistakes occur during production, collectors become very interested, because error coins can become surprisingly valuable. Some modern coins that originally had almost no value have later sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So while the average 2015 10 Sentimo coin may only be worth its face value, rare variations could attract attention from collectors. Condition is everything. Another factor that determines a coin's value is its condition. Coins are graded based on how well they have been preserved. Collectors use grading terms like good, fine, extremely fine, uncirculated. A coin that has never been used in circulation is called uncirculated. These coins still have their original shine and sharp details. Uncirculated coins are often much more desirable for collectors. So if someone happens to have a 2015 10 Sentimo coin that has never been circulated, it could be more interesting to collectors than a worn coin. The future value of modern coins. Modern coins sometimes become valuable many years later. This happens when collectors begin searching for coins from a particular era. Sometimes coins become rare simply because most of them were lost, melted, or damaged over time. Other times, collectors suddenly discover an unusual minting variety. When that happens, prices can increase quickly. While the 2015 10 Sentimo coin is still relatively common today, the future of coin collecting is unpredictable. What seems ordinary today could become desirable tomorrow. That is why collectors often keep coins from different years, because you never know which one might become rare. The cultural importance of Philippine coins. Coins in the Philippines often feature important historical figures. These figures remind citizens of their national identity and struggle for independence. By placing heroes like Apolinario Mabini on coins, the country ensures that history remains visible in everyday life. Every time a coin changes hands, it carries a story from the past. This connection between currency and culture makes coins more than just money. They become symbols of national pride. Could this coin become rare? This is one of the most common questions collectors ask. Could the 2015 10 Sentimo coin ever become rare? The answer is possibly. But rarity depends on several factors. How many coins were minted? How many survived in good condition? Whether collectors start demanding them. If one day collectors begin focusing on the early new generation coin series, coins like the 2015 10 Sentimo might become more desirable. But for now, its real value lies in its story and historical meaning. Final thoughts. The Philippine 10 Sentimo coin may be one of the smallest coins in circulation, but behind its simple design lies a powerful story. A story about national heroes, a story about economic change, and a story about how even the smallest objects can hold deep historical meaning. So the next time you see a tiny coin on the ground, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. And who knows, you might even be holding a future collector's item.